Hey there, everybody. This is CP Cards and Dice. We're getting ready with some original dice. Look, I'm going to be using the red and the yellow today. The red is going to be the pitcher. The yellow is going to be the batter. They're basically two double six-sided die. 2 times D6. They got 2 6s on them. They're pretty interesting dice. And we are playing time travel baseball. This is the second time that we have played this game. That we've streamed this game, and it is Game 4 of the 1973 World Series. Game 1 was won by the Oakland A's. It was Kenny Holtzman. He pitched a shutout. Game 2 saw a lot more offense, but from the Mets side, and they scored 11 runs, and they won 11-4. And that was Jerry Koosman got that victory. In Game 3, it was a scoreless tie into the bottom of the 9th. Bases were loaded, and it was a ground ball to second base to Dick Green at second base, and he went home with it. And I can't remember who scored. Felix Milner scored, got in underneath the tag for a fielder's choice walk-off game winner. And now we're in Game 4. It's 2-1 Mets in the series. And Game 4 is going to pit the first game starters, John Matlack against Kenny Holtzman. And it's going to be Bert Campaneris leading off with Joe Rudy and Sal Bando. And then cleanup will be Jackson Tennis batting 5th, Alou 6th, Ray Fosse 7th, Dick Green 8th, and Kenny Holtzman 9th. For the Mets, it's going to be Wayne Garrett, third base, Felix Milner, the second baseman, Rusty Staub in right field, Cleon Jones batting cleanup in left field, John Milner, first baseman, batting 5th. Batting 6th is Jerry Grody, the catcher, Don Hahn, center fielder, batting 7th. Batting 8th is Buddy Harrelson, shortstop. Batting 9th is John Matlack. Yes, sirree. And we're right about to get started. And I want to make sure there is some background sound here for us to enjoy.
Don't try to run the Bible.
They always have to run an ad right before they give me the soundtrack. I'm going to try to see if I can get that soundtrack onto my phone. All right, there you go. I want it in the background. I want it too loud, so you can still hear me. I don't have to raise my voice. I want this to be very relaxing. John Matlack, he's a left-hander. Now, I'm still learning the cards, so I'm not going to be perfect, but I'm going to give you a good representation of what the game is like. And when we roll, it's going to be whenever the red die is higher, it's going to be off the pitcher card. When the yellow die is higher, it's going to be off the batter card. That's simple. No magic. When they're doubles, like a 6 and a 6, then we're going to pull a gamble card. And depending on what the color of the image is, if it's a red image, it'll be the pitcher. If it's a green image, it will be the batter. It's that simple. And let's put this one somewhere in between so we don't know what the result is going to be. All right, so let's get started here. It's John Matlack facing the right-hander Bert Campaneris. You're using Ice Core. You can see that at the top of the screen as well. Hey there, Glenn. Hello, my brother. How are you? Underrated game. Good. I'm glad I discovered it, and with the help, of course, of a few different people. And tomorrow's going to be the draft, the snake draft for the league that we're in. Hopefully I can get my player. And we're ready to start. So it's a 2-3. So the higher number is the yellow, and that's going to take us to the batter. So it's a 5 off the batter, and that's a foul out. So it's in foul territory. He's a righty. It's going to be the third baseman, Garrett, near the stands, and reaches out and makes the catch. 1 away. Joe Rudy next. And that's a 5-1. That's a 6 total. 6 is a chopper, and that is to the shortstop. Buddy Harrelson charges, throws on the run, and gets Rudy by half a step. Rudy was hustling down the line. Not known to be speedy, but in that case, he was hustling. And here's the pitch. It's going to be a 3-1. That's a 4 off the pitcher, and a 4 is ball 4. So down to first goes Sal Bando. Sal Bando gets a lot of walks. That's for sure. There we go. And it's going to be Reggie Jackson. Big power hitter. And it's a 46. That's going to be off Jackson's card. A 46, not a 46, it's a 10. And of course, this is going to be a short single, but if it's the same side, it's going to be an out. It's actually a strikeout. If it's the same side, John Matlack, and it is the same side, lefty on lefty. So that's how they do their splits. You see the little question mark? That's the key to this little question mark. Let me push this up just a little bit so I get this all into the camera. And you know what I'm going to do here? I'm also going to bring the camera a little bit lower to do this game justice without losing everything here. Hopefully I won't have too many issues with the pulsating autofocus. Somebody told me, hey, go in there and shut it off. Hey there, Bears Den. Welcome. 007. I love that. All right, so this is a strikeout. So big strikeout. That's a pressure strikeout of Reggie Jackson, who at that time was, I mean, he hit 48 home runs, I believe, in 1969. So he was known as, you know, a hitter that you needed to be respected. Let me put it that way. All right, so Wayne Garrett, the Mets redhead, comes up. Here's a pitch from Kenny Holtzman, another lefty. That's going to be a 5, but the red is higher, so it's going to go off the pitcher card. It's a 5. That's a strikeout. So a swing and a miss from Garrett. 1 out now. Kenny Holtzman to Felix Leon, who doesn't strike out very often. That's a 9, and that's going to be the 6 is the higher number. So that's going to be, again, it's red, so it's going to be off the pitcher. And the 9 is popped up in the infield. Bert Campaneris is out. Rudy's in, and it's Bert makes the catch. Bert Campaneris, I think, ends his career with the Yankees in 1983. I think that was his last season. Here comes Rusty Staub, Legrand Orange. Yeah, I'm going to start. I'm using Alert and Careless. I'll start using that. Yeah, Alert is the home team, and Careless is the visiting team. I love that. That's very cool. So I'm starting to add little things. At first, I just played it really, really simple. That's how I do it when I started playing a game. I play it really, really simple to learn the basic mechanics, and then I start adding things and getting more comfortable and reading and questioning, and that's how I do it. That allows me to kind of learn the game and not be overwhelmed and not bog it down and not get fed up. I know a lot of guys that I don't know a lot of gays, and if I did, there'd be nothing wrong with it, but I don't. I know a lot of guys who, started a game, they played 3 games, and that was it. And then, I didn't like it too much. Well, you only played 3 games. How are you going to know? But that's okay. I respect that. I mean, if you weren't motivated, that's not up to me to motivate you to play more games. But anyway, Rusty Staub with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Here's the pitch. There's no score. Game 4 of the 1973 World Series. That's going to be an 8, and that's a ground ball. It's on the left side. Dick Green scoops it, throws over to first, and that retires the side. So Rusty grounds out. And here comes Gene Tennis. Let me get this over to the side here so it's not in the way. Let me see how the screen. All right, the screen's good. And this is I'd like to laminate this. This is a nice little field that comes, a paper field, I guess, the little cardstock, maybe 60-pound cardstock. Gene Tennis, one of my favorite players. Just don't know why. He's just one of my favorite players. He's got power, seemed to be a clutch hitter, had an amazing, I think it was a 73 World Series, was it? Was it 73 or 72? And he had an amazing World Series. Here's a pitch from, we didn't switch pitchers. Got to do that. Here's John Matlack. That's going to be a 7, and that's take a gamble. So it says take a gamble right there, and guess what you do? You pull a card. And you don't see those. Let me see if I can bring them into the screen a little bit more now. You know what? I'll put them right here. So pick a gamble card, and see what that says. And it's going to say there's nobody on, so you're going to look at none. See where it says none? It says fly out. If careless, and the outfield is going to be no, they're not careless. They're alert. It's a single because the Mets are at home. So that is going to be a fly out to left field. And racing in is Jones. And oh, nice sliding catch by Cleon Jones. Being at home really made the difference. We wanted to go all out for the fans. All right, so that's one away. Here's Jesus Alou, one of the Alou brothers, and that's going to be a double. So we're going to have to pull a gamble and see what it is. Now we're going to look at the image, and that is going to be a pitcher. So we're going to look at the pitcher. And that's a 3-3 off the pitcher. That's a deep fly ball to right field. Back goes Jones to the track, to the wall, looks up and makes the catch. So Jesus Alou gave it a ride. Here's Ray Fosse. You know, Ray Fosse got knocked over by Pete Rose in I think it was the 1970 All-Star game. He was batting, I think, .316 at the time. He was never the same player after that. That's the famous story. Kind of dislocated his shoulder. Pete Rose, played hard regardless. And, he took some slack for that. But again, that was Pete Rose, Charlie Hustle. And it's going to be a 6 off the batter because the yellow is higher. And it's going to be a ball that's ripped to short. Harrelson, nice play, and throws out Ray Fosse. That retires the side. Here comes Cleon Jones in the bottom of the second. Kenny Holtzman pitched a shutout against the Mets in Game 1. Cleon Jones in 73, not the hitter he was in 69. In 69, he batted .344. By 73, he batted a .260. That's going to be a 6 off the pitcher's card, and that's going to be a sharp ground out to the shortstop, Campaneris. Throws low, but nice scoop by Tennis at first. One down. Here's Johnny Milner. Johnny Milner was the walk-off hitter of last night's game. It was a bases-loaded fielder's choice. The Mian slid in under the tag at home, and Johnny Milner got credit for the victory. That's going to be a 9 off Milner, and that's ripped to the third baseman. No, I'm sorry, to the first baseman, Gene Tennis. He's going to scoop it and take it himself. And here's Jerry Grody. And that's going to be a 9 off the pitcher, and that is an infield pop-up. Green at second base, and Campy converge, and Campy calls him off, makes the catch. That retires the side. 21 hits in Game 2 of this series. Ever since then, it's kind of been quiet. I use alert and careless by adding fielder rating totals. Yeah, I could do all that. Yeah, I use home and away. It's easier for me. It's just more of abstracted. Some things need to be abstracted in our games. I really strongly believe that. I just got finished playing an inside pitch game, which I really enjoy, but there's some parts of inside pitch that are not smooth sailing. I'm sorry. That is a clunky, not all of it. Some parts are clunky. Just because, sometimes you need to just abstract things. There's some things that are abstracted with them, which I really like. And there's some things that they really not pretty. And that's one of the things is the fielder's choice double play, runner at second base. It's a whole thing that you got to do all this addition. It's like calculus. Come on now. He's either safe or he's out. Move on. Dick Green. Dick Green is up in the top of the third inning. And here's a pitch. And that's a 7, and it's a fly ball. Left center field, Jones and Hahn converge. Don Hahn takes it. Center fielder is the quarterback in the outfield. And here's the pitcher's card, pitcher at bat. Now, this is Holtzman batting. Now, Matlack has a danger. I don't know what danger means. I got to look that up. I'm not going to do it now, but I got to find out what that means. And maybe you'll tell me. Glenn, I know, knows, is pretty good at this. So I know that I'm not sure what exactly danger means. But I like it. I like that danger is there. I like that word is a cool word to have there. All right. Here's Kenny Holtzman. Yeah, that's a 5, and it's a strikeout. So John Matlack blows a fastball by Holtzman for out number 1. Wonky. Yep, that's a good way of putting it. Wonky it is. Bert Campaneris. Oh, that's a double 6. So with a double 6, we're going to pull a card. See who's going to be off. Will it be off the pitcher for a home run? Or will it be off the batter for a single? That's interesting. And it's going to be off the batter, so that's going to be a little blooper. It takes his leaguer, and it drops in front of Jones. And Jones gets it in quickly to keep Campaneris at first. Campaneris took a big turn. He's on at first, and here's Joe Rudy. And that again doubles. And this is off the pitch. Oh, wait, that was off the bat. Yep, this is off the pitcher. And that's a 3-3, and that's a deep fly ball to left field. Back goes Jones to the track and hauls it in. Now, let me double check. A deep fly ball. Deep fly out. Let me see what that says there. Deep fly out. Run on third scores. Others hold. Okay. That's 2 out. Oh, that's 3 out. Excuse me. All right, so we go to the bottom of the 3rd. Don Hahn. What a name, huh? Don Hahn. Captain Carl. I think that might mean that he uses dangerous pitch hitting. That's what I thought. Thank you, Carl. That's what I thought. And he hasn't batted yet. Let me see. So here are the hitting cards. That's what I thought. Here are the hit. So you have hitter at bat. You have shutout card. Hold on a second. You have the hitter at bat. Where are the other ones? And you have batter at bat. And you have dangerous at bat. Although for the World Series, they should consider Kenny Holtzman dangerous as well, because he had 2 doubles in the World Series. So that's good. We're gonna put. That's what I thought. Just in time to pick that up. Good one, guys. All right, who's there? Kenny Holtzman against Don Hahn. Let's do it. And it's gonna be a 9. The red is lower, or the yellow is higher. That's the batting, so it's going to go off the batter, and that's a 9. 9 off of Hahn is a strikeout. Swings and misses at a big curveball from Holtzman. And here's Buddy Housen batting he should be batting from the right side against a lefty. And he's got to be a switch hitter. Let's see if he is a switch hitter. He is a switch hitter. You know what? I know why. Hold on a second. Because Holtzman is not. He's in as a righty. Yep. He's a lefty. All right. There you go. Kenny Holtzman played with the Yankees. Oh, that's double again. We're going to pull a gamble. Very relaxing, this game. And that's going to be off the batter, a 2-2 off of Buddy House, and that's going to be a swing and a miss. So not only good things happen with those doubles, sometimes bad things happen, which is cool. That's one thing that always struck me about Appa, a little bit annoying. Like when it was a double, it was an automatic hit pretty much, unless the pitcher had an effect. But certain numbers like 22 were almost always hits. And I hated the fact that all the good hitters had a hit at 22. I was and that's why I really like Strat, because Strat was like you never knew where the hit numbers were, and that I thought that was cool as well. But now a lot of games do that now. Now all the games do that. Just Apple, built in the 50s, one of my favorite games. I got a ton of stuff from Appa. I got to start, moving some stuff. Let's see, Kenny Holtzman versus John Matlack, but it's lefty versus lefty here, so it could mean an advantage for Holtzman. That's going to be a 5, and a 5 is a strikeout. And Matlack swings and misses to retire the side. Sal Bando, the captain. Here comes the captain. Captain of the ship. The captain must go down with the ship. He can't get off before the passengers. That's very important. And Sal Bando is the captain. And it's the top of the fourth. There's no score. The A's have one hit. The Mets have no hits. Here's a pitch from John Matlack. That's a 40. That's a 10. And a 10 is it's going to be, no. If it was righty versus righty, it would have been a strikeout, but it's not. It's going to be a little ground ball that squirts through into left field for a base hit. Right past Garrett, and Harrelson couldn't get to it. So Bando's on at first, and here's Reginald Martinez Jackson, number 9 in 1973. Later on, he went to the number 44 with the Yankees, and then of course I believe he was 44 with the Angels as well. Ended his career back in Oakland in 1987. I actually played his. It's on there. I actually streamed his last. I think it was his last series or his last game with the Oakland A's, 1987. All right, that's going to be a high yellow, which means the yellow is the batter die. So a high yellow is going to be a 9 off of Reggie Jackson, and that's ripped to the right side, and John Milner after it, and it's Mian, and Matlack was late covering, but they get Jackson. And wait a second, that's a whole thing. I created a whole scenario, but I got a runner at first. So wait a second, Mian may go to second base on this. So that is a 9 for Jackson. That's a hard ground out. Let's see what it says on hard ground out. It's going to be no. They go to first. So let's make that 4-1. All right, and moving to second base is Bando. So there's a runner in scoring position now. John Matlack has to bear down here against the always dangerous Gene Tennis. Here's the pitch, and that is going to be a 7 off of Matlack, and that's going to be a gamble. So we're going to pull a card, and with the runner at second, we're going to look at the runner at second. It's going to be a base hit single. Runner advances 2 bases. They're waving Sal Bando around, and that's going to be the center fielder. And let's see what it says. There's some more information here before that happens. A star center fielder throws the runner out at home. So Don Hahn, let's see if he's a star. And that may be different than there's one with the full star, and there's one with like the star silhouette. There's 2 kinds of stars. So we'll first let's look at what Don Hahn is out there. Is he a star or what is he? So Don Hahn is going to be not a star. So the play at the plate is not in time, and Gene Tennis picks up an RBI. It's a single, 2 runs, 2 bases. Batter takes second on a throw home, and there goes Tennis, and the throw down is high, and the tag is late. Tennis takes second, heads up base running by Gene Tennis. Told you he was a good player. So that is going to be a single, and he takes second on the throw home. And let's move him to second base. Let's say on the throw. There we go. Using iScore, I've done tons of tutorials on that. It's one of the best systems that you can use. Very simple to use. So right now, with my replay, my 67 replay, I'm using paper and pencil. But with this replay, I'm using iScore, and with another replay, I'm using replay. So I'll use all the different systems. Jesus Alou, let's see what we got here. I need to get this updated edition, the expansion sets. Yeah, you got to get this updated edition. I'm going to show you why. Because it comes with this. That's right. That's the only reason you need to buy this. Because it comes with one big old red die with one little itty bitty tiny die inside that you can barely see. It's hilarious. We're going to use it. We're going to use it. All right, let's use it in a second. All right, so here's Jesus Alou. There's 1 out. Gene Tennis is at second base, and we're going to use this new crazy fangled. We're going to use this. And that's a 1 and a, looks like a 5. What's here? Yeah, 1 and a 5. So that's a 6. So that is going to be off the batter. And a 6 off the batter is a sharp ground out with a runner on second. Let's see what it says. Sharp ground out. Runners hold. There's a couple of things I'm gonna kind of make sense of here. There's some language here that's kind of I don't really agree with totally. It's the way they say things. The hard granite. Okay. No, it's not going to be there. It's going to be too short. All right. And here comes Ray Fosse. We're going to use this crazy die again. So a big one with a little tiny one, and that is going to be an 8 off of Fosse. Yeah. And charging it is Garrett. Bare hands it, throw to first. It's high. Nice stretch by Milner, and they got him. John Milner. Showing off the leather here in the top of the 4th inning, but the A's are up 1-0. So we got a heck of a ball game here using time travel baseball. Yesterday was the debut on my channel of time travel baseball. I love that word, debut. It's from the 70s. I don't know if you remember, but when they would debut a show like the $6 Million Man, they'd write, you'd see TV Guide and say debut. Wayne Garrett. It's a left-handed batter, so it's lefty on lefty. Let's use this funny die. Let's see what happens. And that is a 7 because it's a 5 and then a 2 inside. So that's a 7. That's going to be off of Holtzman, and that's take a gamble. I love that. With nobody on, you're going to look at none on, and it's going to be a ground ball. And as shortstop is playing too deep, and alert, slow roll out, and the shortstop does make the play, but Campy is away, so he's not going to get the alert. So it is going to be a single. I love that. This game is a blast. Having a lot of fun with these games. The latest games I've picked up. This one's just pure fun. This is just like pure enjoyment. Fall Classic Baseball is a little bit more serious, but also a really nice game. You got to see it on my channel. It's plays very, very smooth. And I'm going to show you Seaver's stats. I'm replaying the first month because when I played it, I made a lot of mistakes. So I'm replaying the first month, then I'm going to continue. But his stats are amazingly accurate. Felix Mian with 1 on. So Wayne Garrett reaches on an infield single. And it's Felix Mian. So now we got to think here. Do we bunt? He is a fine bunter. So that is an advantage. So let's try to tie this game up here in the bottom of the 4th. Let's look at the bunt chart. And let's just roll. We're going to roll that crazy die with another die inside it. It's like the alien die. 5-3. All right, so we got a 5-3, and that is an 8. And it's a pitch out. Lead runner caught stealing, unless he's daring, and I do not think that he's daring. So that's not a good thing. With too much of that going on, you know what happens in games when you got too many negative things happening when you try to do something, you just don't try to do it anymore. That's something that happened with payoff pitch, and also with deep drive baseball. Payoff pitch, it was when you try to take the extra base, there was 50% of the time you're thrown out. So what did you start doing? Not taking the extra base. Say, well, I'm probably going to get thrown out, so why take it? So what did it become? Station to station. So far I've sacrificed like 4 times, and I think I've gotten it once. So I got to keep trying again. I don't want to. So that's going to be it's a what was it? It was a pitch out, and they caught stealing. The runner's not daring. No. All right, so it'll be with a righty up. It'll be a 2-4 caught stealing. 2-4, and that's 1 away now. Felix Mian's gonna get another swing at it, and that's a 3-7. That is going to be, or that's a 3-4, which is a 7 off of the batter, and that's a fly out to left field. Left fielder Joe Rudy settles under it and squeezes it for the out. And now it's Rusty Stott with 2 outs. Right. That's right. Nettles was wearing number 9 when Reggie signed with the Yankees. Very true. I got a very early edition of the game. You're saying that this game was around in 1982? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Wow. It's like a lifetime, man. It's like 40 years. All right, here is Holtzman versus Rusty Stop. And there's a little die in there. There's like little my Appa buddy. These are the originals, like early 70s, 60s die. That is going to be a 5, and that's an 11. It looks like an 11, and with the white die is higher, so that's going to be off Rusty, and that is a bloop single to center field. Falls in front of Jackson, who's playing center field. That's a 2-out single for Rusty Stop. And now it's going to be Cleon Jones against Kenny Holtzman. She's trying to get to the window up there. She wants to get up there. So let's allow her to do that. All right, there you go. I moved everything for you. Okay, go. Get lost. There, she's going to make a jump now. All right. Here's the pitch from Holtzman. Runner on first base. And that is a 5-2, which is a 7. That's going to be a gamble card again. And the gamble card is going to tell with a runner at first. It's roller to first base. Runner reaches third on batter takes second on error by the pitcher. So I guess it's a ground ball. Extra effort, catcher backing up first base. Let's see. The catcher is Fossey. Let's see if he's an extra effort guy. I don't know that Fossey's an extra effort catcher, but he could be. Let's see. No, he's not. So it's going to be a two-base error. So it's a comebacker to Holtzman, who picks it up and lobs it way over Gene Tennis's head, and that's going to go into the outfield. And Jesus Alou is going to corral it, and he gets it in quickly. So it's going to be second and third on a pitcher error, two-base Holtzman error. So runner to third, and batter to second on the same error. And now we got second and third. So the Mets have a great opportunity right here with a single. They may take the lead if it's the right kind of single. So Kenny Holtzman versus John Milner, lefty on lefty. Here's a pitch. See what happens. That is a 5-4, which should be a 9, and that's going to be, the red is higher, so that's going to be off the pitcher card, and that is going to be popped up. And John Milner's angry with himself. Breaks the bat over his knee. Now, they'd never do that back then. I don't think they'd ever do that. I never saw that when I was a kid. And that's going to be Gene Tennis. Actually, no, it's to the let's make it to Bando. It's the opposite field. Was late on that, and Bando makes the catch, and that retires the side. The Mets leave 2 in scoring position. And leading off is going to be Dick Green. He bats from the right side. His batting average was .262 on this card, I guess, in the 1973 season. And here's John Matlack. And that's a 9. It's going to be off Dick Green, and that's hit hard at the shortstop, Harrelson, and he spins and throws to first, and high throw, but again, a nice stretch by Milner at first. And here's the pitcher batting. There's one die inside of another die, and that is a 3-1. So that's going to be a 4 off the pitcher, and that is a deep fly ball off the batter. Oh, no, wait a second. Oops. And that's ball 4. Ball 4, Matlack walks Holtzman. Don't make those mistakes. That's pretty fundamental. Just never switched the pitcher. All right, Bergkamp and Ayers with the runner on first and 1 out. Let me take a little sip. Time travel baseball. This is a fun game. Very cost effective. This cost me $10, and then just got the cards donated. Let me see. I still got a little smudge on my glasses. Yeah, it came off. That's good. Got a little sip. All right. John Matlack to Bergkamp and Ayers with the runner on first. And that is a 4-6 with the red being lower. So that means the 6 goes to the batter card. It's a 10 total. And that is going to be, if they're the same side, it's going to be a strikeout, but they are not. And that is going to be a ground ball and through the left side into left field, played on a hop by Jones. So on a short single, let's see what that becomes. That's runners advance one base. And here's Joe Rudy. And Matlack checks in for the sign from Grody. He sets and he deals. And that is a 6. It's a 2, so that's that it's a 2 and a 4, white 4. So that's going to send it to the batter card, a 6. And that's going to be a sharp ground ball with a runner at first. And a sharp ground ball is going to be to the shortstop. Harrison flips to beyond the relay to first in time. 6-4-3, tie retired. Runner moves to third. Runner at second is out. Double play. So Rudy hits into a double play. And here comes Grody. And that's a red 2 and a, it's 2-2. And it's going to be off the pitcher, a 2-2 off the pitcher, and it's lined and caught. Oh, infield line out. Draw top gamble card. Oh, that's if there's somebody on base. So it's lined and caught by Bando. Hit right on the screws, but Bando was at the right place at the right time to shag that or snag that line out from off the bat of Grody. Here's Don Hahn. Don Hahn is 0 for 1. He struck out. That's a red 4 and a white 5. So that's a 5 or a 6. That's a 5. And it's going to be a 9 off the batter because the 5 is higher. And it's a strikeout. Don Hahn swings and misses again for the second time. Not much of a hitter, this Don Hahn. Bet at 229. And here's Buddy House, and he's a switch hitter batter from the right side. And that is a 4-1. So that's a 5. It's going to be off Holtzman, and that's strike 3. Easy inning for Kenny Holtzman. And here comes the big boppers for the Oakland A's. It's going to be Bando, Jackson, and Gene Tennis here in the top of the 6th. John Matlack, pitch. That's a 3-2. It's going to be a 5, and that's strike 3. Bando goes down looking. Wasn't happy with that call. Matlack again. That's a 4, and that's ball 4. Reggie Jackson trots down to first base. So he's on at first. And it's Gene Tennis. And that is a 1-3. The 3 is higher, so that's going to take us. It's going to be a 4 off of Gene Tennis's card, and that's a strikeout. So Matlack blows a fastball by Tennis for out number 2. And this is Jesus Alou with a runner on first. And that's going to be a red 2 and a white 1. That's a 3. So that's going to be strike 3. And Matlack comes back, retires his side, and he leads off the bottom of the 6th inning. And here it is. All right, here is dangerous at bat. Kenny Holtzman versus John Matlack. Here's a pitch from Holtzman. That's an 8 off the pitcher because the red is higher, and it's a ground ball to the right side, and Gene Tennis is going to flip it 3-1 to Holtzman. Wayne Garrett. This is starting to do this lately. Where'd it go? got kind of stuck in there. It's going to be a 3 on a 3 red with a 5 in there. That's an 8. That's going to be off the batter because the 5 is higher than the 3, and it's a ground ball to Green, who corrals it and throws sidearm to first to get Garrett. 2 down, and me on. And that's an 11, but this is going to be off the pitcher, and that is strike 3. Pressure play. Pressure play in the basic is just a strikeout, which I like. Keep it simple for a novice. Ray Fosse's leading off the top of the 7th inning. It's 1-0 Oakland A's. Again, another pitching duel. The first time these two pitchers met, it was 2-0 A's, and this time here in the 7th, it's 1-0 A's. So Kenny Holtzman's getting the best of John Matlack. Here's a pitch to Fosse, and that is a 4 on the red and a white 6. So the 6 is higher, so that's going to be a 10. And that is, if they're on the right, they're not the same side, and that is a little slap to the opposite field and pass me on into right center field. So Fosse's on with a single. And it's going to be Dick Green. And you know what? Let's bunt. Let's try to. We got the pitcher up next. You know what? We're just gonna hit away. All right, that's going to be a 7 off of Green, and that's a fly ball left field. And Jones is right there, hauls it in. They call it a high fly out. Let me see what that means here. Does it mean anything special? High fly out. Runners hold, careless defense. The runner would score from third, but no, that's not the case here. Okay. So now Kenny Holtzman is going to bunt. Let's see if we get this to work for us. So far we haven't. I think this is 1 out of 3 or 1 out of 4 for me. Let's try to do it again. All right, we got a 5 and a 3. 5 and a 3 is an 8, and an 8 is a pitch out. There it goes, another one again. Pitch out. Lead runner caught stealing. I told you. It's this sacrifice bunt is a little wonky, and Ray Fosse's definitely not daring. Okay. So that is a caught stealing again on I can't. That's just not possible, dude. You wait till he lays it down. I mean, you're Ray Fosse and I run. That can't be true. Something's got to be wrong there. Pitch out. All right. Let's try that again. Let's try to bunt it again. And that's a 7 this time. A ground out. Ball is bunted too hard. So I guess that's a fielder's choice. So back to the pitcher, goes to second. Throw to first, not in time. So it's a fielder's choice. I'll take that. And it's a 1-6. Runner at second is out on the force. I'll take that. Yeah, I got to make little adjustments here and there. Got to make little adjustments. That's just not possible. I've never seen it. First of all, I've never seen it happen. It goes contrary to any baseball. Because you're bunting, you're not stealing a base. So why would you be running and get even on a pitch out? You wouldn't get thrown out. Let's see what it says. Lead runner caught stealing. It doesn't even say he's picked off first base. And that would even be a rare play. I mean, you wait till he bunts it. Especially if you're a slow guy. If you've ever played baseball, you know that. So that's a little adjustment we got to make there. That's not. I don't like a bunch out like that. I mean, I don't mind a couple of strikeouts and stuff like that, but not all the time. All right, so with 2 out and 1 on and Bert Campaneris. Here's a pitch from Matlack, and that is a 2-2, which is going to pull a gamble card, and it's off the pitcher, 2-2, and that is a base hit to left center field, cut off by Jones. And it's called a short single, and a short single tells us that pretty soon I'll memorize these. Runners advance 1 base. So base hit with 2 outs, and that's going to bring up Joe Rudy. Joe Rudy's got power. Joe Rudy's got power. Here goes. And that is a 3. A 3, that's 7. It's a 3 and a 4. The 4 is higher, so we're going to look at Joe Rudy. A 7 is a fly ball, deep left field. I told you. Back goes Jones to the track and makes the catch. That retires the side. All right, here comes Rusty. Rusty will be facing Kenny Holtzman in the bottom of the 7th inning. 1-0 A's. There's a pitch. And that's going to be a 5 off Rusty, and that is a slow ground ball to the right side. Dick Green charges it and throws out Rusty. Rusty does not run very well. Next is Cleon Jones, and that is a 5 off the batter card, and that's strike 3. And here's a pitch from Holtzman with 2 outs. John Milner. John Milner with a 2 on the red and a 5 is higher, so that's going to be off Milner, and that is a fly ball deep right field in the gap. Will Jesus Alou run it down? And yes, he will. Robs Milner of at least a double. Got a good jump on that ball. All right, now here's John Matlack. Top of the 8th inning against Sal Bando. And that is a 9 off Bando's card, and that's ripped to short. Harrelson throws him out. 1 down. Reggie Jackson. And that is a 3. So that is going to, and it's the 2 is higher. So that's going to be off of Jackson. And that is a ground ball up the middle and through into center field. And Hahn plays it on the hop. So Reggie's on with a single, 1 out single. Some action in the Met bullpen. That's going to be an 11 off Matlack, and that is ball 4. And this may be all for John Matlack. Out comes Yogi Berra, and they're going to talk to John Matlack here in the top of the 8th inning. It looks like they're going to let him stay in. He's going to face Matty. I'm sorry, not Matty, but Jesus Alou. Well, I would not take a word. You know what? I would still go by the 5, Captain Carl. I would still go by if he allows 5 batters in an inning to reach base, I would definitely pull him. I would probably make it 3 or 4. The later it gets, the quicker I would pull him. Like if it's in the 1st inning, he allows 5, I may let him go. If it's in the 6th inning and he allows 5, I would definitely pull him. But if it's in the 8th inning, once he allows 3, I would pull him. If he allows 2 in the 9th, I would pull him. So I think it depends a lot on what inning it is. One of the things that I like about the game is how it handles a pitcher's fatigue with the rules of 5. Yes, that's really good. 5 runs, 5 base runners, and one other thing, right? Is there another one other thing? 5 runs, 5 base runners, and 5 times around the lineup. If he faces the leadoff hitter 5 times, that's smart. Yes, so I do agree. So yeah, I got to talk to some people about the sacrifice bunt issue. All right, so Jesus Alou runners on 1st and 2nd. John Matlack got the confidence from his manager. Yogi Berra. And here we are in the top of the 8th inning. It's 1-0 A's, and they're threatening to add something to that lead. And here is Jesus Alou. Reggie's at 2nd, and on at 1st is Gene Tennis. That's going to be a red 1, and a white 5, which is going to put it a 6 off Alou's card, and a 6 off Alou is a sharp ground ball. And they may be able to turn this. I think they will. If first base is occupied, it's going to be a 6-4-3 double play, and the Mets turn it. The second big double play that the Met defense turns and gets out of a tough situation. So Matlack is grateful to the Mets defense for getting him out of that jam right there. And here at the bottom of the 8th is Jerry Grody. We're going to probably see a pinch hitter for for the Mets, and of course, you know who I'm going to bring in, right? I don't know if you can guess who I'm going to bring in to pinch hit. All right, here's Jerry. Here's a pitch from Holtzman. It's a red 1 and a white 5. That means the higher numbers is the white one, so it's going to be a 6 off of Grody, and that's going to be ripped to third base. Bando backhands it, long throw to first, and had more time than he thought with Grody running. Don Hahn is up. Here's a pitch from Holtzman, 1 down, and that is a 2-1, so that's going to be a 3, but that is off the pitcher Holtzman, and that's ball 4. And Holtzman is not happy with that call. He expects to get a strike from that one, and that puts the tying run on base now. And it's Buddy Harrelson. Now, again, we're not going to bunt again. That hasn't worked for us. We got another thing we can do here. We can try hit and run. Try hit and run. And that is a 4 off the batter. A 4 off the batter is a strikeout. On a hit and run, I think he gets thrown out. Unless he's daring. And again, I get thrown out. Holy smokes. But this time, that makes more sense. Because this, you do get thrown out. It is a strikeout. Lead runner is caught stealing. So that's 2 outs. And Buddy House is batting from the right side, so it's going to be the second baseman that covers. And the tag in time. And that is a 2-4. And Buddy House is still up. There's a pitch from Holtzman with 2 out, nobody on. And that's an 8 off of Harrelson, and that's chopped to short. Campy waits back, now charges, fires on the run, and just gets Harrelson. And Harrelson doesn't think so. And out comes Yogi Berra. All right, that retires the side. We go to the top of the 9th. Last licks here for both teams. In the top of the 9th inning, John Matlack is still in the game. Yes, sir. And it's going to be Ray Fawcett leading it off. Here's the pitch. And that's a red 1 and a white 3. That's going to be off the batter because the white is higher. It's a 4 off the batter, and that's a deep fly ball off the bat of Fawcett in the gap. Will Jones run it down? Yes, great catch by full extension by Cleon Jones in the gap in left center field. And his outfield defense is surely improving, I'll tell you that. Dick Green now. Pitch from John Matlack. And it's going to be a 6 off Green, and that's ripped up the middle. Will Harrelson get there? And he does, and spins. Throw to first is low, scooped out by Milner. And Green is out at first, just by a hair. That was hit hard. I'm surprised Harrelson got a good jump on that ball. That was hit up the middle. And now it's Kenny Holtzman. Matlack versus Kenny Holtzman with 2 outs here in the top of the 9th. There's a 1-0 A's lead. And that's going to be a 9 with the 5 being higher. So it's going to take it to the batter card, and that's a 9, and that is strike 3. All right, let's see what the Mets can do here in the bottom of the 9th inning. The fans at Shea are on the edge of their seats here in Game 4 of the 1973 World Series. The Mets lead it 2-1. And John Matlack is going to get called back. And who are you going to get? We're going to get Willie Mays. Yes, sir. Willie Mays comes out. Kenny Holtzman against Willie Mays. We're going to pop him in there. You know I got to have Willie Mays bat. You know that. Include defensive sub. Nope. All right, here goes. And that is a red 2 and a white 3. So that's going to be a total of 5. The white die is higher, so it goes off the batter, and that's a 5. And that's base hit. Willie Mays. Left center field. A frozen rope Jackson over quickly and gets it in. And Willie Mays singles, pinch hit single. Wow. You got to believe. That's what they say. At least that's what and there's some action in the Met bullpen now. It's Tug McGraw getting up and Harry Parker, the lefty and the righty. Here's Wayne Garrett. Now again, every time we try to do something, it backfired. We try to hit and run, it backfired. We try to bunt twice, it backfired. So I don't know what to tell you. You got to run on first, nobody out. We want to get him over to second base. That'll give two guys an opportunity for a base hit. So we got to bunt. We got to do it. Just got to do it. It's 1973. That's the way baseball was played back then. So this bunt chart, if I don't, I got to either get. Oh boy, it was part of the all-time Senators Twins team. I kept finding a tough take on Walter Johnson out. Yeah, he's Walter Johnson. How are you gonna take him out? It would mean that the most batters he faces would be 36, but that seems about right, even for back in the dead ball era. Yeah, but okay, but not the workhorse pitcher. Workhorse pitcher doesn't get pulled out, so he could go more than 36. He can go 40. He can go 110. All right. Wayne Garrett's going to square. Here's a pitch from Holtzman. It's a 6, and inside it's a 5, so it's an 11. Sacrifice bunt an 11 is a good sacrifice. Batter safe on an error by the pitcher, Holtzman. Runners advance one base. This pitcher's a 2, and Holtzman is not a 2. He's a 0. It's a pop out and a double play. Wow. Okay, so it's a sacrifice and then an error and runners advance. So it's going to be first and second now. So the winning run is at first base. So it is going to be a sacrifice. Let's do that. Sacrifice and an error. Sacrifice bunt with an error. There it is. Error on the pitcher. Runner there. And that's it. Oh, they have that. That's pretty impressive. All right, nobody out. First and second. And here's Milner. Shoot, but the problem is here, we want to get with first and second. You got to bunt now. Again, Milner is going to square. And that is, the closest it is going to be a 5. And a 5 is going to be a foul out, runner hole. 5 bunter, which he is. Perfect sacrifice bunt, runners advance one base. Okay, so you got to bunt with guys who are good bunters, I guess. But that's 6. Oh, no, that's 7. 6 and 7 is a pop out, double play, which a 6 and a 7, aren't they the two numbers that come up like most of the time? I mean, that most of the time you don't get a pop out double play or an 8 with a pitch out. Those numbers those should be like at 3s and at 11s maybe. Numbers that don't come up as often. The ones in the middle should be like a good a good sacrifice. That's nuts. Okay, so both runners move up on a sacrifice by Felix Milner. And that is going to be a 3. He's going to, all right. Oh, no. There, and he moves up, and he moves up. Okay. So now the infield is going to be brought in. It's going to be Bando, Campy, Green, and Tennis on the grass. There's one out. Kenny Holtzman. So far, he's allowed only 3 hits. And it's Rusty Staub. And you know what? Staub is probably the best Mets hitter at 279 with nice power. You're going to walk Rusty Staub. Intentionally walk Staub. And now they're going to bring in Raleigh Fingers to face. They're going to bring in Raleigh Fingers, if I can find Raleigh Fingers. Okay, there he is. And Raleigh Fingers is going to face. Okay, that's not Raleigh Fingers here. Hold on a second. Ah, there they are. All right, Raleigh Fingers is going to face Cleon Jones. Yes, sirree. Bases are loaded. 1-0 A's. Only 1 out. So this is a classic matchup here. Raleigh Fingers, the stopper, the standout, the Hall of Fame, the Hall of Fame stopper for the Oakland A's is coming out to face Cleon Jones here with the bases loaded. 1-0 A's in the bottom of the 9th inning and only 1 out. The infield is going to play in for Willie Mays. I don't know what kind of speed Willie Mays has, but I don't have. Let's say nothing special, I guess. All right. So here's a pitch from Fingers, righty on righty. And that is a 4-something. Something that's inside there. 4-2. So that's going to be a 6 off the pitcher. And that is a sharp ground ball with the infield in. And that makes us bring out the rule book, my friend, because I think that is they throw them out at home plate, I believe. Infield in. I saw it the other day. Simplest game in the world has a lot of pages for a lot of little qualities that the players have. It's a little bit. It reminds me a little bit of History Maker baseball in a way. All right. With a runner on third and less than 1 out, the infield manager may move the infield in to prevent the runner on third from scoring. A sharp ground out or a hard ground out, batter reaches first base on a fielder's choice. Lead runner is out at home. But both pressure play and extra effort are automatic singles. That's good. I like that. All right, so this was a 6, which is off of Raleigh Fingers. It's a sharp ground out, and we just said that a sharp ground out is he's out at home on a fielder's choice. So that's 2 out now. They throw out Willie Mays, and Cleon Jones grounds it to Campy. Campy with the throw home. And the throw to first, not in time to get Jones. So it's a fielder's choice, not a double play. Maybe a 6-2. All right. He's out at home. Forced out. There you go. Everybody else, bases are still loaded. 2 outs now. And here comes John Milner, the lefty. All right, here's the pitch. This is the 2 outs. Bottom of the 9th, bases loaded. Base hit here may score 2, and it's a back-to-back nights that John Milner gets to walk off for the Mets. Let's see what happens. You got to believe. And that is a 4, and a 3 is a 7, and a 7 off a pitcher is a gamble. And with the bases loaded, we're looking at third base. And this is going to be a wild pitch. Runners advance 1 base. Pitcher has lost his temper for the rest of the game. Changed strikeout to 3-2 count. Holy smoke. The game is tied. Oh, wow. Wild pitch. And everybody moves up. The game is tied. Wait a second. Let me go back. Let me do that properly. So it's runner scores on a wild pitch. And he moves up, batter advancement. He moves up, batter advancement. Okay. And John Milner is still. And we're going to walk Milner to pitch to Grody. Intentionally walk Milner. And now we're going to pitch to Jerry Grody. We're going to let him bat. 2 outs. Bases loaded. 1-1 now. And that is a 6-6. A double. A double. And we're going to pull a gamble card to see if it's off the pitcher or the batter. And it is off the pitcher. And a 6-6 is going to be a base hit. And the game is over. Jerry Grody is the hero. He gets mobbed at first base by his teammates. Holy smokes. The Mets come back in the bottom of the 9th. Crazy, crazy, crazy. The Mets take a 3-1 lead in the 1973 World Series. Holy smokes. And the winner, the winner is John Matlack. The loser is going to be Kenny Holtzman. Wow, guys. Hey, Al Red Sox fan, meet the Mets, greet the Mets. Bring your kitties, bring your wife. All right. So, yeah. Raleigh Fingers was pissed. He threw the ball away that allowed the tying run to come in, and then he served up a base hit to the very unlikely hero, which is Jerry Grody. Batted .256, which is not too bad in 1973. I've got my my draft tomorrow night for time travel, and I don't think Jerry Grody was on there. I was looking to see if he could be my catcher. They're going to have crazy talent on those teams, but you can't have 9 Hall of Famers because you don't have enough money, and you need 25 players. Jerry Grody was great in this game, that's for sure. Michael Terranova, how you doing? All right, Michael Terranova, Captain Carl was here. I had a big turnout today. Not used to that. I usually stream at like 1 a.m. And, because that's when I have the energy to do it. I take a nap. I get up real super early and I stream it. Then I stay up till 3 or 4 and then I go back to sleep. I play all night long. I'm still going to play. I'm going to rest for a while. And then I'm going to go back to my Fall Classic Seaver replay of 67. And then I'm going to have Game 5 tomorrow of the 1973 World Series. Mets are up 3-1. And I'm not sure who goes tomorrow. I think it's Kuzman again. Kuzman against Vital Blue, I believe. Lefty on lefty. Who else was here? I got a bunch of guys here tonight. Let's see if I can grab that and see who was here. Hold on, let me scroll. Glenn was here for a while. Bears Den was here for a while. And those are the guys that said hello. There's some other guys around. So this was a lot of fun, and I highly recommend this game. I mean, you don't have to be a brain surgeon to figure it out. When you pull the cards, it tells you where the ball was hit. I don't do that. I kind of imagine it. Got a good imagination. So I make my righties, unless I know the players. So if they're spray hitters, I make them hit all over the field. But if they're like pull hitters, home run hitters, then I kind of pull the ball to one side or the other. And but the cards will tell you where the ball goes, so you can know where the ball goes. Second base, right field, and so on and so forth. It's this game is really easy to play, a lot of fun. Some issues with the sacrifice bunt chart, which I must discuss with some veterans. And that's it. But this is a lovely game, a lot of fun. Final score was 2-1. And let me look at the line score to end the game. So the Mets with 2 runs, 4 hits. The Mets with 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors, 5 left on base. The A's with 1 run, 7 hits, 2 errors, no left on base. Or is that, 8 left on base, excuse me. I can't see, the font is so small. 8 left on base, and that's about it. So this is CP Cards and Dice, and you saw a playthrough of Time Travel Baseball. It debuted on my channel last night, and I played the first 2 games to learn it. Then I streamed Game 3, and now I stream Game 4. Now I have Game 5. The Mets are up 3-1. We get Kuzman and Vital Blue. In that game, they faced each other in Game 2, and the score was 11-4 Mets. The Mets scored a bunch of runs. They hit 4 home runs in that game. Yes, sirree. They hit 4 home runs in that game. The big shot was by John Milner, a 3-run shot. And that put the Mets up, I think, 8-4, 8-3. So that's about it. Let's see. Tennis the Menace 72. Yes, Tennis the Menace. Okay, that was his big. I know he had a huge series. I'm looking back at earlier comments that I made about. That was the year that Reggie Jackson got injured. He was injured. He didn't play in the World Series, and Gene Tennis came up huge and was just, on fire. And I'm a real veteran of playing this game. I've had it for almost 40. Captain Carl has had this game for 40 years. And I just played my first game like 3 days ago. This is shameful. I am totally envious of Captain Carl. Very cool, Captain Carl. And I can't believe this game has been around that long, and it took me this long to figure it out and to say, hey, let me check out that game. Some guys that love this game really love this game, and that's one of the things that inspired me. And I also like the look of the cards. I thought that was cool, and that you create your own cards real easy. I liked all that aspect of it, and plus it was very affordable. You know, you didn't have to spend $100 to try out a game. So gamble cards make it exciting. That's that little unknown aspect of it. You don't know what's going to happen, like that wild pitch by Raleigh Fingers, wild pitch, and then he lost it. I got to read and see what two. I guess a 3-2 count means that you roll again. I believe that's what it means, because he lost all the strikeouts and they became 3-2 counts because he lost his temper there, lost his composure, as they say in baseball. So the next thing I'm doing is tonight I am playing the. I'll tell you what I'm playing right now. In a little while. I am playing Fall Classic Baseball. It's going to be, I'm using DigiDugout for the lineup sheet, paper and pencil. It's Houston at Shea Stadium, May 5th, 1967. Pitchers are going to be Dave Justy against Tom Terrific. And the cards for that game are going to be, oh, no, that was the Cubs. Let's see if I can find the cards for that game. I got stuff all over the place. Let's put the Mets with the Mets. Oh, you know what? You guys are still here. I'll do an unboxing as well. I'm going to do an unboxing, a real quick unboxing. Let me get my my scissor. Let's see where that is. Ah, here it is. Here's my scissor. Let me do an unboxing real quick. I got this today. I think I know what it is. Let's see. Oh, I bought some other cool stuff. I bought like 10 sets of Replay Baseball for like $200. All the 70s. And those sets go for like $60 each. All right. We'll bring this up now. Let's see what I got here in this box. Unboxing. You got a little extra, an added feature to this video. Oh, look what what is this? Ah, I know what this is. There you go. Stratomatic 2014. Because I want to play, this is 2015. This is the year the Mets. This is the year the Mets made it to the World Series. And the cards are okay. They're not too bad. I want to play a couple of games. Some of them are a little bit worn. Some of them are like never touched. I guess it depends on the players, right? And the teams. This is a new Yankees AL. It doesn't come with the extra players though. It doesn't come with the extra players. Chicago AL. San Diego, Justin Upton. Kevin Gosman. I thought this was something else. It was okay. This is actually discontinued, so you can't get these, by the way. Not discontinued, but out of production, which means that they'll probably never make it again. So they didn't pay very much for these, actually. I think they came out to be about $40, which is less than you would retail, and they're not even available anymore. Colorado. So I'm going to have some fun with Stratomatic. I haven't played them in a while. I'm going to play a game. Maybe I'll play the opening day. Just use a couple lineups. I'm not going to go with struggle doing actual lineups, which is a little bit of a pain. Even though now with DigiDugout that they do it for you, but the problem is that DigiDugout will put a guy in there that only had like 3 at bats the whole season, and Stratomatic does not do that. Stratomatic does not play that. There's some companies that play that, but not Stratomatic. You're not going to get those players, those fringe players. So then I'd have to kind of wait out and then just pop in somebody else, and I do that. But I'm probably not going to do. I'm probably going to use iScore for play the 2015 season and just pick a lineup. The closest thing to what I know was like I'll pick the guys that had the most at bats and just run with it. Once I see, and I'll give them a break every week. I'll give the catcher a break every week, that sort of thing. And if I have somebody else who had a bunch of at bats, then I'll do like a little platoon thing. So this is the 2015 season. Stratomatic. I didn't even know what was in that box, to be honest. The guy's been asking me, hey, did you get it? Did you get it? And I'm like, get what? I don't remember what it was. Oh, yeah. I haven't gotten it yet. No, I think I said I did get it, but I didn't know he was talking about this. I thought he was talking about something else. Anyway. So, where are my Metsies? There they, oh, no, it's the Yankees. Did I put my Metsies away already? Steve Gills. Where did he go? All right, let's see. Cincinnati, St. Louis, Oakland, Los Angeles, New York Mets. Hey, meet the Mets. Oh, you know what? And I think the first game of the season is with the Kansas City Royals. That's what I remember off the top of my head. I may be wrong. I may be right. I may be wrong. I may be crazy. But I think it's the first they play a 2-game set against the Kansas City Royals, because that's who they met in the World Series. So I think that is what here. So let's see who was on that team in 2015. Jacob deGrom. He was outstanding. He had a 2.54 ERA. Mind blown. And I protect these too. They don't smell too bad. So he's a little bit. Alex Torres, Sean. These are the Hansel Robles. That's the bullpen. Nice was a starter. He had 29 starts, so he'll be starting. Then I got old Daniel Murphy. I will protect these guys. Juan Lagares. Juan Uribe was on his team. Ruben Tejada, the Tejada rule. Wilmer Flores was still on this team. He had 500 at bats, so he played the whole season. 16 home runs. It's going to be a blast playing with these guys. Conforto, he only had 175 at bats, so I think he comes in the last 2 months. 70. No, he comes in like the last 3 months. David Wright had 150 at bats. He doesn't play the whole season. Yoenis Cespedes plays 230 at bats with the Mets. He comes in after the trade deadline. Darno, he splits duty with the other catcher, Curtis Granderson. He plays the whole season. Tyler Clippard, he's a reliever. Addison Reed, he was big, 3.38 ERA. Bartolo, oh my God, I love Bartolo. I actually replayed his season with payoff pitch. Plawecki, he's the other catcher. Both Plawecki and Darno, they split duty. Michael Kadire, he batted against. He's a righty, so he played against lefties. And then Kelly Johnson is a lefty. He played against righties. But he came in towards the end of the season as well, so we got to look into that a little bit. Eric Campbell had 200 at bats. He was a righty, so he played against lefties. Lucas Duda was pretty much everyday first baseman, 470 at bats. So I can have fun with this team. I'll probably do the splits on the back, but I don't know if I'm going to do all of this. I can't remember some of it. I know you have to throw a 20-sided die, and then it's a 1, 2, 3. It could be something, or it's a. I hate that. Got to look at the rules, and I hate the way those rules are written with all the tiny font. So that's again another relief pitcher. Matt Harvey. Matt Harvey had a 2.71 ERA. This was his last decent season in the major leagues. Well, his last good season. 13 and 6. It looks like 13 and 6 or 13 and 8 with a 2.71 ERA. And then Noah Syndergaard, he was on that team as well, and he pitched 150 innings, 9 and 7 with a 3.24 ERA. So they have a heck of a pitching staff. And yes, and I believe, I don't know if, did they play the Kansas City Royals? Let me check and see. Hey, Tony, what's up, brother? Bleacher Bums Gaming is in the house. He's coming out with a new game. That is exciting. And Captain Carl is Bobby. He's not Carl. So don't call me Carl. Don't call me Johnson. My name is Johnson. Johnson, how did that go? You can call me Johnson. You can call me JJ. You can call me JJ Johnson. You can call me. Anyway, Stratton's done it again. Discontinued the season. Unbelievable. Yeah, Strat has a lot of sales, but unfortunately, they have very few cards to sell. I went in there and from there was nothing in the 60s. There's only 60. Well, there's before 66. 66 and before is available. And then you go all the way up to 1980 and 82. Those are available. Then you got to go all the way up to 2005. And you get 2005. And then you got a few seasons, and 15 and 16 are not available. Ah, come on now. The most unpopular seasons are available. CD, do you do subscribe to subscribe? Yeah, I got the CD. I have a bunch of seasons for Strat has everything on retro replays. Strat has everything on PC game. That's true, and I have like I'd say about 6 of their seasons, 7 of their seasons. But I play charts and dice. So why did I use PC games, but I don't really play the game using PC. I roll dice, and I like the cards. I like the feel of the cards. I like to throw the dice. So unfortunately, I can't buy from them because they don't want to produce stuff. I don't understand it. I don't understand how that could be a good, smart business model. It's good for the secondary market and for those secondary sellers that say their business model is the best. Yeah, because they're look at eBay and you'll see all their sets, all these basic sets, $200, $300, $400, $500. What? It's thin card, man. You don't need, most of the sets are 20 cards. You don't even get all the players on half the sets that they're selling for those prices. You get 20 players. Why do they do that? I don't understand. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. But anyway, I really don't care enough about it to go on a rant about it. It's not important enough to me. But I do have these cards, and I will be playing some 2015, and I believe the Mets start off with the Kansas City Royals. I'm not going to play the World Series. It's not. I've done it before a couple of times. Not in the mood to play another World Series. I don't want baseball just to be all about World Series. I'd rather be, about games through the course of the season and player accomplishments. And here's all the Johnny Cueto, Edison Volquez, Ryan Madsen, Franklin Morales, Wade Davis, Kelvin Herrera, Greg Holland, Danny Duffy, Jeremy Guthrie, Chris Young, Yordano Ventura, Art, rest in peace. He's the guy that drove off the cliff over in Dominican Republic. Danny Duffy, Jeremy Guthrie, Chris Young, Alex Gordon, Eric Hosmer, Lorenzo Cain, Kendry Morales, Salvador Perez. These cars are a little bit yellowy around the edges, a little soiled from Paulo Orlando, 240 at bats, batted 250. Alcides Escobar, 500 bats, so he's a starter. Christian Colon, Alex Rios, almost 400 at bats. Omar Infante, 440 at bats. Gerard Dyson, 200 bats. All right. So I think that's the first little thing there. So I'm going to play that just to change it up a little bit. I'm not going to do it now. I'm still getting ready for Fall Classic Baseball. I want to show you those cards. See if I can find them. This is my little Mets tin. And this is where I keep all my dice when you leave. My Shea Stadium tin. I lived right next to Shea Stadium for 40 years. All the different dice I have in there. All right. When I went to see Eric Davis in '89, where did I sit? I sat right up here somewhere. Up here, I think. All right. I remember that game because I thought Eric Davis was going to be Willie Mays, the next Willie Mays. Boy, was I wrong. Let's see. Cincinnati. Cannot find. Oh, there they are. They're behind my screen. That's why I can't find them. They are behind my my iPad. All right. So it's going to be Houston, Morgan, Sonny Jackson, Landis, and we are playing it at Shea. Rusty Staub was playing with the Astros in '67. And it's going to be Lee Bales. He does not start. Jimmy Wynn does not start either. And Eddie Matthews is there. Aspromonte, he plays. John Bateman. Ron Davis does not play. Doug Rader. I like him. Blasingame is there. He does not. Mike Cuellar was on the 67 Astros. This is my 67 season replay. These are nice cards. You can see them close up now because I brought the camera closer. Don Wilson. Let me get the guys here that are going to start in this game. The starter is Dave Justy. You get almost every player. It's pretty impressive. You know, almost every player. So if you're doing actual replay, it works. But I'm getting burned out on actual replays already. I'm just kind of, at this point, I just want to let a starting 9 just play through the game. Ron Brandt, he does not start in this game. Duke, Sherry, Scheider. Oh, Joe Morgan. Joe Morgan's leadoff. There's Dave Justy. That is his batting card. Norm Miller. Norm Miller is there. Okay, I was looking for him. And that's about it. And there's Dave Justy's Sonny Jackson and Dave Justy's batting card. Perfect. So I'm ready. I know I have all my Mets. That's for sure. Morgan. Rusty Staub bats 4th. Matthews. No, it's Matthews, then Staub. And then it's Miller, then it's Aspromonte, then it's Bateman, then it's Justy. So then what you got to do in this game is you got to write down, because their outfield arms have a lot to do with base runner advancement. Even second and double plays as well. If you have a really good arm, you're going to get more double plays. Now, Joe Morgan is slotted with a weak arm, so he's going to lose out on double plays. Sonny Jackson, on the other hand, has an average arm at short. So those, I need to know those. Eddie Matthews, John Landis, he's in center field. I don't think I pulled John Landis. I skipped him. I missed him somehow. If you see John Landis, give me a holler. Yeah, I'm going to take a break for like an hour, maybe watch a movie, an hour and a half. Then I'll come back at 2 in the morning. There's John Landis. John Landis, center fielder, is an A0. That means he doesn't throw out many guys, but he prevents guys from advancing. So Landis, then Eddie Matthews, first baseman. Rusty Staub in right field. He's an average 3. Norm Miller, he's in left field. Norm Miller's a weak 3, so guys will advance on him, but he may throw you out, so you got to watch out. Aspromonte. So sometimes you get a free advance because he's a weak arm. Other times, if it's a risk or if it's an assist opportunity, not a risk. A risk is something different. Bob Aspromonte, and he's a third baseman, so you got to check his arm as well. And he has a weak arm, so he's going to miss out on double plays as well. And it flows really well. You got to watch this game. I'm going to play one probably in about 2 hours, late at night, but you can watch it tomorrow. You don't have to watch it. And this is John Bateman. I don't worry about that. And then Dave Justy. Sometimes he has a potential pick-off thing with his arm. He has just an average arm. So, all right. And that's going to be it. So they're set up and pitching. So they're going to bat up here. Seaver is going to get this slot over here. I'm going to put this away. This is where Dave Justice is going to face the Mets down there. I got my Mets over here. So this is what I do. This is behind the scenes. I do videos like this a lot of times. They're called behind the scenes. They're like 20-minute videos. Now let's see what we got here. It seems like Strat is wanting to go digital. They have almost everything, I thought, digital. But they got to print some cards, man. Come on. They got them cards made already. Just reprint them. I'm not going to buy from a secondary seller for that price. No, who's going to do that? It's nuts. You plan to do a season ticket baseball tutorial. I have what I did with the season ticket rules. I actually bound them. I took them to Office Max, Office Depot, whatever it is, tomato, and I had them bound nice. They're by my nightstand. So I started looking at them. I have some cards that they sent me. I'm going to print out those cards. I'm going to cut out the cards. Then I'm going to quietly and in silence and in solitaire, I will try a first game. to see how much I fumble about, and then I will kind of get a rhythm and try to, use my technique and how I simplify things. I leave a lot of complicated things out, and I cut it. I go straight forward to just the basics, just a roll and see what kind of result it is, and then yeah. So the answer to that's the long answer. That's a long version of a yes. But I am close. I'm getting closer. Tommy Seaver, he's right there. And the thing I love about this game, Bleacher Bums, is that pitchers can have their best possible stuff on a given day, their average stuff, and then their poor stuff. In other words, they're not getting the pitches that they want to get over. They don't have the control they expect that they normally have. I love that about this game. So you roll at the beginning, and it depends what you roll as to where you fall in. But good pitchers are going to have 3 good columns. Bad pitchers are going to have 3 bad columns. But of course, the 8 column is always where that bad pitcher can perform a little bit better than you'd expect. And that's one thing that I really loved about this game. And one thing that I gravitated to it because of, I always kind of find something in each game that I like about it. And that's what. So now I'm getting all the Mets together. Bob Johnson is not starting. He's a heck of a hitter for the Mets. That's Seaver's card. And we're going to finish up now after I set up this game, because then that's going to be it for the night. Bob Shaw, Selma, Shirley, Harrelson is in there. Swoboda is not in there. Cleon Jones is batting second. Dogs are going nuts now. The 2 big dogs, a Doberman and a Husky in there. They're always fighting. But, play fighting drives me crazy. Again, one of the Doberman eats my cards, eats my garbage, climbs up on the desk, took my drink and crushed it in her mouth and spilled all over the place. That's another can of worms. I don't want to go there. My son just let them outside so they can stay out of our hair for a little while. And I think that's going to be it. I don't see anybody else that I have to bring in here. Bushek plays in this game. And I think that, Ludlow. His name is Luplow. Luplow played a little while for the Mets. And I don't think he's in that pack. I don't think I put him in the pack. Let me see. Sandy Alomar, Chuck Hiller. Oh, there he is. Al Luplow. He plays. Is Tommy Davis in this game? Yes, he is. That's about that. That should be all of them right there. So I'm going to set it up. We're going to put Harrelson first. Jones. Where's Luplow? Just had him. Luplow, Davis, Kranepool, Bushek. These I put in these. I have the Stratomatic sleeves. See that? And I just cut them. These are a little bit shorter, but they're the same size. They're the same size, but they're shorter. And it's going to be Kranepool, Steady Eddie Kranepool. Did I put him down already? From the Bronx, born and raised in the Bronx. He's a lifelong Met, and he just had a liver transplant. And there was like 100 people that came out and said, "I'll give you my liver. You're Eddie Kranepool." Bushek, Tommy Reynolds, Jerry Grody. Who's Jerry Grody? There he is. He's 8th, and then all right, hold on a second. Jones, Luplow, Davis, Kranepool. Davis, Kranepool, Bushek, Reynolds, Grody, and Seaver. There it is. That's the game. And this is going to be a blast. Seaver is protected. And the home, this is the stadium card. It's really cool. You have a stadium card result for lefties and a stadium card result for righties. But it's very easy to read. It's not like the one I have a lot of trouble reading is the Replay Baseball ballpark card. It's kind of all over the place, and it's hard for me to read. I don't know why. This one's super easy. It's all based on a D20, and it's just right side. If he's a righty batter, you look on the right side. If he's a lefty batter, you look on the left side. You got home run, triple, double, and of course, the more of those that the park gives up, the higher totals, the higher the numbers, the better percentage. So most of his game is based on a D20. That's one of the reasons I really like it. Looks like it would be a very good game. Bummer that Strat had so many seasons to go out of print. Hey, they went out of print. Why? Because guys are stuck at home. Guys are stuck at home. They have indefinite, gaming time. I'm working from home. Lots of guys are, working from home. So we got just more time and less time outdoors and more time indoors. And so guys started saying, hey, I want to play this season. I want to play that season. So they started buying up the seasons, and they sold out. This is a perfect time for them to put out more seasons. Don't wait till February. What if COVID's over in February and everybody has to go out? Everybody starts going out again, and that's going to happen after a year being stuck in a house. Why are you going to make us wait till put out all those sets that now you can keep us waiting for the 220s, the 2020 set, because of course you're building it, right? You're putting it together. I get it. But all the sets like the 71 that went out, the 68, the 69, make those sets on demand. If guys want to buy them, let them buy them. You know who doesn't want that? Personally, I'm going to share something with you. I feel that there's an element of secondary market that controls those decisions. And they're making money on the secondary market. They're selling the $47 set for $400. So they're like, why would I ever want to make more $47 sets for like $25 or $20 where I'm making, $27 on it, when I could have the same set that I spent $20 on and I could sell it for $400 on eBay. I'm thinking that this is like a whole, I'm thinking conspiracy theory at this time, because, and I'll tell you why. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I'll tell you why. Because I'm adding 2 plus 2. 2 plus 2 is not equaling 4. If you have access to these cards and you can just print them out, and guys want these cards because they're selling, for $200, $150, $200. I sold 1986 for $175. And they're selling for more than that on eBay. That was, a low ball. I bought 1971 for $200. Ridiculous, man. Come on now. We don't need to do that. There's no need for that. It's ridiculous. This is something you're supposed to have fun with. I can understand the first card ever made by, Hal. I can get it. I get it. Okay, the first box. Okay, I get it. That's a collector's item and so on. Same thing with APA, right? 1950s. These are Cold War games. This is McCarthy. McCarthy was like bringing in people saying, you're a communist. That's when these games were built, and they pretty much stayed the same. If you read, the Stratomatic book, Strat Fanatic or something, it's called like that, Fanatics, I think it's called. If you read that book, the game never changed. The game has not changed. They added something. They created the advanced. They created a super advanced. Yes. They did the lefty righties. Yes. But the foundation of the game has never changed. Okay, where you have the 6 columns, right? That's never changed. Okay, that's how he built it in the 50s. So that's a Cold War era. The Russians are sending missiles to Cuba. Castro's smoking a cigar and he's talking to Kennedy. That's when these games were built. That's 60 years ago. Good fundamental games. Very good fundamental games because they're based on fundamental math. And they didn't deviate from that too much, trying to say, well, we need to add this and it'll be okay if we'll just add it. It won't mess things up too much. They never really did that. When they did make changes, which was adding something on top of the fundamental, the foundation of a strong mathematical game, they layered parts. They didn't, go off on tangents. There's some of our games that we're playing that seem to be going off on some tangents here that I don't know how they can be sure that those results are going to be good unless they have a sim engine. If you have a sim engine like Strat, if you have a sim engine like Replay Baseball, I'll believe you when you tell me, hey, we've simmed the season, these cards 1,000 times, and we've identified, outliers, and we've made adjustments. Then I'll be like, you know what? I believe that you're probably the 2 best, most accurate games in the end. But to be honest with you, I played those seasons multiple times, and there's a lot of inaccuracies. Guys are hitting more home runs than they actually did. Guys are hitting few home runs. So I don't play the game with that in mind. I want Tom Seaver to do well. I don't care if he's exactly the same ERA that he had, and that's the name of the game. I think, some guys are going to do well, some guys are going to do not so well, and you just play it through, and you just have fun with the games. Like the game we just had, it was a great game. It was, bottom of the ninth, the Mets come back, they load the bases. It's a wild. Wally Fingers brought in to face Cleon Jones, and he throws a wild pitch, and then of course the next batter they're going to intentionally walk Milner, right, and that loads the bases again, and then you're going to get Jerry Grody to single. What a surprise hero he was! And the ball game's over, and Mets win it 2-1. So that's why I play these games, just for those. A lot of times, and I'm ashamed to admit it, right? I don't really care that much about the stats. When I did my first Met replay, one of my first Met replays, I didn't keep stats. I picked 4 guys. I said, I'm going to keep stats for these 4 guys, and I didn't care what the rest of the guys did. I kept stats for my 4 main starters, and I kept stats for, I think, my 4 favorite players, or 4 or 5 favorite players. That's it. And I only kept minimal stats. I kept home runs. What did I keep? Home runs, batting average. I think that was it. Old school, right? That's all they had. When a batter came to plate, they put his average, his RBIs, and his home runs. That's all you needed. Either he's good or he's not good. But that's about it. I'm keeping all of Seaver's stats right here. I'm all the way to August, except I'm playing May. Why? Because when I started playing this game, I made a lot of mistakes, and I didn't understand how the game works. When you roll, right, and Seaver's a C pitcher, you got to have a quick hook. You can't keep Seaver in there inning after inning, and he's giving up runs and hits and base on balls. And no, he's not going to settle down really. If he goes off on that C and you have a team that is hitting, oh man. So you got to have a quicker hook. Once he gives up a couple runs in the 5th or 6th inning, you got to already start thinking about, hey, and the next inning he comes in, he allows the first 2 men on, hey, pull. Because otherwise, so when he's a C, but if he's an A, now you can let him roll because he's got his best stuff, man. He's blowing that fastball by everybody. His curveball is looking sharp, it's off the table. Then you leave him in, you can say, I'm going to be pushing him one more inning. Come on, you can do it. That sort of thing. So that's the way you got to play this game. It's a real feel. The manager's got to have an eye for his pitcher and how his pitcher's doing based on what column he lands on. But hey, sometimes you land on the C column and you pitch a shutout. Yes. So what I did was, if you're a C and you go 5 innings, you become a B. And if you go 7 innings, you become an A. So I got that from APA. And I think it's a cool little modifier. Just represents and of course I kind of follow they have batters faced starter, batters faced reliever, and yeah. So DJ is doing 76, trying to learn the game and watch Tony play here on YouTube. Looks like it could be a very good game. So that's the story, man. So I gave you a lot of stuff to go on. So I'm going to take a break. I'm going to rest for a while. I'm going to put these to the side. I'm going to set this up eventually. And I'm going to play a nice, easy-going game later on tonight. I have to play 2 more games, and then I go back to August. I got to play the game that was on May 5th, and then 1 more game. And then that's when I really learned the game really well, and then everything kind of settled down. But before that, I was making certain mistakes. I wasn't reading certain things the right way. So then I went back and I replayed all those games. And I didn't do any tutorials. The one mistake I made in those tutorials, I kind of went in there and I corrected. But I played a bunch of these games before I did any tutorials because it was a more complicated game. There's like 15 charts, even though you don't use the charts, they're there anyway. Every so often, about 3 times a game, you use a chart, 4 times a game. So right now, let's roll to see what happens. We're going to roll on Dave Justy. We're going to roll on him first. And that is going to tell us, I have the wrong card there. That's his batting card. There it is. The 3 columns, see that? All right, so I'm going to roll. I'm going to roll a D20 and a D20. The red one's good. I'm happy with the red one. Let's see if you can see that. Let me push this. Let me slide this down a little bit to the right. Push that there. Push that there. All right, we're going to roll to see what Dave Justy is doing in this game. Is he going to be an A, B, or a C? Is he going to have his best stuff? Is he going to have his average stuff? Or is he going to have his poor stuff? And that's a 15, and that's going to be C. So he's going to be a C. So he's going to have his poor stuff. Doesn't mean he's not going to have a good game, though, because a lot of the outs come off the batter card as well. Now it's Tom Terrific. What will Tom Terrific have? And he's going to be a 5. He's going to be his best stuff. He's going to have an A. So when that happens, you say, hey, Seaver should. Now, that doesn't mean he's going to pitch a shutout, because he got knocked out of the game the other day in the 6th inning with an A. So, it's not guaranteed. Nothing's guaranteed in baseball because it's a roll of the dice. But in this game, you roll a red and a white, and you have a D20. But I don't roll. I use the D20. That's not a D20. That's a D20. I use the fast action cards, which are gorgeous, by the way. Fast action cards are amazing. These are the cards you got to get. They're a little pricey, but they're worth it because there's a ton of them. It's, I think, over 200 cards at least. And they're really large. They have large font. They're easy to read. They're not all cluttered with information. And there's tons of information on these cards. They really take care of everything. It's a really smooth game. I highly encourage you to watch me play this game, or just play the game yourself. Or I think there's a couple other guys that did some replays with this game and some tutorials with this game as well. But that said, guys, this is me. I'm going to head off. I'm going to watch a movie. And just chill out, drink some lemonade, and take it easy for an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours. I may fall asleep for an hour or 2 hours, and then wake up at 2 or 3 in the morning and play another game. I will. I'm to my last tutorial, my 10th game. I've played about 5, 5, 5, and 5. Played April, May, June, July. I played 20 games, and I've done 10 tutorials. So I played 10 games first, then I did the tutorials, because this game is more complicated than travel baseball. So that's all. I will see you guys soon. Thanks for stopping by. It was a pleasure to see everybody. Bleacher Bum's game. It was good that you stopped by as well. And I named everybody before. I will see you guys soon. Take care. CP Cards and Dice out.